If we haven't met before, my name is James Font, and I believe the world of Australian wine is beautiful and complex. So I create videos for wine lovers to learn more about the world of wine. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you are joining me here tonight, let me know in the chat what you are drinking here. I have nothing in front of me for drinks this evening as we talk about the best non-alcoholic wines for the fourth wine of lockdown. I'm doing streams about 8 p.m. each night talking about the 12 wines of lockdown, streaming every night except Sunday. And here tonight, we're going to be talking about the best non-alcoholic wines. And this one is probably going to be a quick live stream as the range of non-alcoholic wines isn't particularly large. So let's jump straight into it. So if you were with me yesterday or have followed up the video from yesterday, we were looking at Dan Murphy's, and Dan Murphy's offer a range of different non-alcoholic wines and just non-alcoholic drinks in general. For me, the best success that I have had has always been with the Macallan Zero series. So that's a relatively new series of drinks. I've clicked on the Chardonnay, even though I'm not particularly a fan of Chardonnay generally, but as an option for what's currently out there, I think the Macallan Zero range is probably one of my favorite, and I'm also a bit biased. I currently have a Macallan's membership, which plays into that as an example of my experience. So looking at the Macallan website, talking about that Macallan Zero range, the alcohol-free wines, they've responded to global acceleration of moderation and abstination, abstaining from alcohol, by expanding its portfolio to offer consumers greater choice and greater variety. So talking about the best wines, best non-alcoholic wines, I'm going straight to the punchline. I think Macallan Zero are some of the best ones out there from what I've tried, with an intensifying moderation mindset sweeping global markets. They've responded through the launch of Macallan Zero, a range of zero alcohol wines that are now available across key markets, including Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. Macallan Zero gives those consumers who are abstaining or moderating a known and trusted choice as they navigate the solo category. About consumer choice, we are focused on putting the consumer at the heart of our business. So the move into the zero alcohol category was a natural fit for the Macallan brand. Less than a year since its launch, Macallan Zero has become part of the consumer's repertoire within the category, and we see zero alcohol as an important consumer offering as the behavior continues to change and evolve. And the Macallan Zero range seems to be pretty consistently available for under $20, and I found it interesting. The Macallan Zero range I've seen available in supermarkets, I've seen them in Woolworths, I've seen them at service stations as well. So you can buy it like a general commodity as well as find it in bottle shops. We can see that they're coming in about $10 a bottle here at Dan Murphy's. My interesting experience with the Macallan Zero alcohol sparkling wine. The wine tastes relatively good. I really struggled to get a cork off on the top of this bottle recently when we were celebrating the Queen's birthday. The cork just got stuck. I tore it in half trying to pull it out, and I probably didn't chill the wine enough for the pressure to do its thing to help bring the cork out as well. From memory, these wines are often made through the process of a traditional wine, and then they use like a centrifuge to spin the wine around and spin the alcohol out. I think the rosé is definitely up there with its kind of bright lifted aromas of delicate red fruits complemented with hints of rose petal. The palate is generous with flavors of strawberries, pink grapefruit, and leading to a crisp and refreshing finish. So this is probably the Shiraz. I think this one would be potentially my top one of the Macallan Zero series, followed by the Shiraz. The Shiraz, because I'm such a big fan of Shiraz, isn't quite there yet. It kind of tastes like quite a sweeter grape juice than kind of a traditional full-bodied Shiraz. But I think the Macallan Zero alcohol rosé is much closer to the real deal in terms of being crisp, refreshing, with the taste being light, fruity, and refreshing as we think about those non-alcoholic wines. I once went on a hunt trying to find a wine for a friend that was halal certified, which was an experience in and of itself. I can't remember if Henkel came up as part of this search, but trying to position itself into an alcohol-free style of champagne alternative here. But what you can see is those wines, when I arrange them from price high to low, they're all very affordable. I think the alcoholized Grenache Shiraz would actually be quite interesting to hear about the process that they went through to make this wine, to understand what it's been through. The reviews are pretty, these two are pretty dismal. That are recent, these two are much more agreeable, much better fan of it. For your consideration, the other one that I often see on the shelves of a bottle shop are the Elderton. Can't say there. I haven't tried the Maggie Beer one, but I was interested in seeing Maggie Beard potentially doing this Ruby Cabernet thing. I'd be interested to see if I could hunt down that Maggie Beer Ruby Cabernet. To see what's out there. There's even websites. I've never come across this one before, but coming across wines that are non-alcoholic, this one has a range of the Margie beer as well as a range of other wines that you may not necessarily see out and about. So if you're joining me here this evening, we're looking at the best non-alcoholic wines out there in the market. It's a fairly limited market with what's out and about and around. And I've just stumbled across this particular website and I've never come across it before, so I'll try and see if I can find any brands that I'm familiar with. I find it interesting to see on here there were some mango wines as well. It all kind of look like some really interesting kind of imports. Product of Germany. Billabong Brut. Sounds super Australian. I'd save that one for later. Pull out a Billabong Brut for a debonair sparkling wine with a light floral nose. Probably move along from that one pretty quickly. Blue Nun is a brand that I keep seeing come up over and over. Again, when I'm looking for this. However, a lot of the other brands are brands that I'm not necessarily familiar with what they've been producing. One non-alcoholic drink that I do remember, it was packaged in a wine bottle. Oh wow, here's a list. Yeah, the Macallan Zero comes up there towards the top. this Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc is up there as well, apparently, from Dan Murphy's. And apparently you can also find Macallan Zero on Amazon as well. It'll be interesting. I haven't seen Lindeman's when I was just looking then. Member offer out of stock. Macallan Zero. This is me also going down a bit of a rabbit hole, being able to see if I can buy Macallan Wines online. And they've got not just kind of the single batch project, but they've also got kind of a variety of some of their other wines before it goes off into suggesting other types of wine. It's an interesting kind of little thing. This one is technically low alcohol sparkling wine, so it's not completely alcohol free, but that would definitely make for an interesting drink to try. From Lindeman's, they've got quite a good reputation. So as we looked at on the other night, the drinking guidelines, it's 0.6 standard drinks. So you could down a bottle of these a night and stay within the Australian drinking guidelines as part of this. And it's got some pretty good reviews. I'd say they're potentially breaking some of the rules here of dry July. If you're watching along in the chat, let me know if you agree, because technically there's some 0.5% of alcohol in that one. And Sand's Drinks is an interesting brand that I've seen open up recently. And they have a variety here already. They have a Sands drink, just general tasting bottle. They've got some Australian sparkling wines. You can see, I jump into this, you can see the Macallan Zero here, as well as the Lindeman's. I think that's the Eden Vale that I was trying to get at when I was scrambling and stretching out for the name of those types of wines. New Blood, Shiraz, plus and minus Pinot Noir, plus and minus Shiraz, Eden Vale, non-alcoholic wines. Yep. So this is the kind of one I'm used to seeing on the bottle shop shelf or in and around Woolworths in the non-alcoholic wine section. They've got that Eden Vale Shiraz that looks like this. It looks like they've updated some of their label and some of their branding for some of these things. It's another beverage where alcohol has been removed, but what you're going to see consistently is Macallan comes up over and over again as part of this. And something I've learned this evening is we in Australia either like Germany or Germany are putting out pretty consistently some quality non-alcoholic wines, but with a year that has been, would encourage you to buy Australian when you're looking at your wine purchases. But one that sticks out in my memory was when I was in London, Fortnum and Mason's sparkling tea. This was I loved bringing this back. Didn't count towards my alcohol limit because there's no alcohol in it, but the idea that you could buy some sparkling tea was absolutely awesome. It looks kind of like a bottle of champagne. Unfortunately, it can't be delivered to Australia, but this is something I'm going to go hunting for if I have the opportunity to be back over there. It just, tickles my fancy in a way that I find it hard to describe. I don't think I got the chance to try that one. I remember fondly opening a bottle of sparkling tea with the family after getting back from a trip there. I think it was probably closer to this kind of a bottle from memory because it had the green on it, or not, because it was definitely non-alcoholic when I purchased it. But that's one I find amazing that I've never quite seen before, that you have like this kind of wine bottle sparkling tea thing. I've never seen anything like it in Australia. But why not give it a Google? I've never really thought to give it a Google, especially in times like this. It's such a unique kind of wine. It'd be really interesting to see if like T2 started popping this off and doing something like this. I'm wondering if I might be able to even pick it off of an import on amazon.co.uk. There's a will, there's a way. New alcohol-free tiffle and even wine buffs are fizzing with excitement. But yeah, would encourage you definitely to buy Australian. This is something out there that is definitely more in that alternative style of thing. Let's go back over here. I might buy, if I was to try and definitely on the UK site, if I was to pick 5% alcohol volume, I don't want that. I want the 0%. Here, it's currently unavailable, unfortunately. There we go. That takes us for a quick journey into alcohol-free wines. I would be recommending Macallan Zero if you were to look into this range of alcohol-free wines. The best non-alcoholic wines I can see and would know about are the Macallan Zero range, but I'm also biased because I'm a member there. So thank you for tuning in and watching. Let me know if you've got any questions about non-alcoholic wines in the chat or the comments below if you're watching it on the replay, and I might be able to answer some of those in a future video. It's something that helps break up drinking habits, drinking patterns, can be a substitute as well. And it's something good to consider as we think about what it looks like to drink responsibly, which we did in an earlier video, as we think about what the Australian guidelines recommend in terms of no more than 10 standard drinks in a week and no more than 4 standard drinks on any given night. So using and drinking non-alcoholic wines can be a good substitute to help make sure those guidelines are followed for your own health and well-being as you think about what it means to drink responsibly. And thank you again for tuning in to number 4 of the 12 wines of lockdown as we look at number 4, as we look at the best non-alcoholic wines here today, and come back tomorrow for number 5 as we look at wine pairing with cheeses and potentially some other different types of junk food for a Friday night special. Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the wine content I'm creating, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of any future videos and live streams that I do. Otherwise, thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure you follow the government guidelines. Goodbye, everybody.